plain. Man, oh man, is there irony and hypocrisy all throughout the news today and the news over the weekend. Great to have you here, Rush Limbaugh, at 800-282-2882. The email address is lrushbo@eibnet.com. You know, we got to be fair here, folks. We have to give Obama his proper due. And Barack Obama has proved the truth of what we were all told when we were growing up. Anybody can be president. If Obama can do it, anybody can do it. I told you that in grade school. Little Johnny, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be president of the You can do it, little Johnny. It's a great country. Anybody can be president. Nobody believed it until now. Thank you, President Obama. Economists see U.S. recovery weakening. This is from Reuters over the weekend. The U.S. economy will lose steam. It has no steam as the year progresses, but will not slide back into recession. Now, Greenspan said last week in congressional testimony that the economy is in a pause. We're just kind of in a pause here. And the debt commission, Irksome Bowles and Alan Simpson, babe, appeared on television yesterday, and they have painted a picture of dire consequences. Ladies and gentlemen, all of the details here are coming up, but it is just... And Alan Simpson, babe, had an interesting quote in his comment. He said, yeah, you know, a lot of people hoping we fail. Who's hoping they fail? Has anybody said they hope the deficit commission or the debt commission fails? And then Simpson predictably ripped into a bunch of Republicans for not being on board and ready to get up to speed to do what's necessary, which, and all this thing was coded language for get ready for tax increases. And Irksome Bowles said something that's patently false. He said, we can't grow our way out of this. Excuse me, Irksome, it's the only way out of this. The only way out of this is to grow. We cannot tax our way out of this. No society has ever taxed itself to prosperity. No society has ever taxed away debt, and all you have to do is look at Great Britain or any of the European socialist democracies. They've been taxing and taxing and taxing, and their debt has been rising and rising and rising. It's a combination of spending cuts and growth, pure and simple. But now the Democrat on the committee says we can't grow our way out of it. Well, that's not healthy. I mean, that doesn't sound good. If we can't grow our way out of it, I mean, that's the only way we're going to make any... You know the dirty little secret? There's no way we're ever going to pay this debt off. We can't. Physically, fiscally, monetarily, impossible to pay this debt off. This is why it's been run up so high. All this is being done on purpose. Only thing we can do is to make it look like we're serious about it. We have to continue to get foreign investment. We have to have the debt purchased by other countries, other entities. And the only way we can do that is to make it look like we're dealing with it. And the only way to make it look like we're dealing with it is to raise taxes. That's what's going to happen. That's why this commission will not report until December, until after the elections, in the midst of a Democrat lame duck session where they are going to attempt, John Fund had the piece last week in the Wall Street Journal, where they're going to attempt to ram everything they can through Congress, get signed by Obama before the new Congress takes effect. This is after they will have been rejected. Even Gibbs, the smartest White House press secretary ever, has said yesterday on Meet the Depressed, the Republicans take over the House. The first time anybody in the regime has said that this could happen. Oh, speaking of regimes, Fidel Castro's out there. Fidel Castro's going on television and radio. He's going to make some sort of speech. The purpose of the speech is to warn everybody that nuclear war is unavoidable. It's coming. And it's between us and Iran. So you have all of that going on. Plus you have the Democrats are going to be soundly rejected in November at the ballot box. The Democrats, before they lose their seats, when they are sworn out of office, new Congress doesn't get sworn until January. In November and December, they're going to go you to the whole country, and they'll do it happily everybody who threw them out, okay, here's what we're going to do. You don't like us here, we're going to ram card check through, we're going to ram cap and trade, we're going to do all kinds of tax increases, we're going to finalize this financial regulatory reform bill, and then come December, here comes Alan Simpson, Babe, and Irksome Bowles with their recommendations on getting rid of this debt cancer. It's not going to be a pretty couple of months. Then the Republicans are going to have an option, or going to have a challenge. They had better run in this election cycle on agenda items featuring pro-growth, so that when the victory happens in November, they have a mandate. It's not enough just to sit there and be against Obama or to be the recipient of an anti-Obama, anti-Democrat vote. It's a golden opportunity, and it has been for a year and a half. And we will see how they utilize it. Now, one thing, Castro knows that there's an opening at CNN. You know, Larry King is going to quit his job, retire, sometime this fall. And a lot of names have been thrown into the mix at CNN. Ryan Seacrest is one, Piers Morgan is another, Katie Couric, and now Castro, obviously with his speech, is auditioning for CNN. I mean, hell, if CNN will hire client number 9, Elliot Spitzer, who has nada experience hosting a television show or any kind of media show, then Castro's got to think he has a chance. Castro can speak for 4 or 5 hours, or used to be able to when he made speeches, without guests, without commercial interruptions. He talk radio material, too. I mean, if it doesn't bomb out, I'm sure that certain broadcast networks in this country would kill, figuratively speaking, of course, to have an opportunity to get Fidel Castro, translated, of course, into English. So you have to figure this is what Fidel is up to. Also in this lame duck, and you can read, this is buried in the story in the Alan Simpson, Irksome Bowles debt panel crisis story. They are looking to do away with the mortgage deduction. And that they might turn that over to the lame duck Congress. This is something that only a lame duck Congress could do. Only a bunch of guys who've already been defeated, who do not have to run for re-election. The only bunch of guys who can do it, that's going to be the Democrats. So look for that to happen too. Look also for all of your health benefits to be taxed as income. I mean, everything is on the table, and everything the American left has wanted to tax, which is veritably everything, is going to be on the table. You don't think so? Yeah, it's maybe true. Castro may not be far enough left for CNN. He might have to moderate his, not moderate, he might have to ramp up his opinions to actually maintain the flow that is CNN. Anyway, Reuters, U.S. economy lose steam as the year progresses, but will not slide back into recession, even though unemployment's unlikely to fall significantly, according to a new survey released Saturday by the Blue Chip Economic Indicators Survey. It's a survey of private forecasters. They found analysts increasingly glum about the outlook. Unemployment is likely to fall. Unemployment likely to fall significantly. I mean, unemployment, that means people are going to be getting jobs. This is one of, they never get anything right, and they're always surprised by it. Reuters and their team of economic analysts and whatever survey takers they go to, every week, every month when there's economic news, they're always surprised. Whether it's good or bad, it's always unexpected. So they never get anything right, and they're always surprised by reality, so you can use that to assess just how accurate this story is. Now we've got Eric Holder. Eric Holder is not through. Eric Holder is going to sue Arizona for racial profiling. In addition, they're going to sit around and wait for it. They're going to sit around and wait for it to happen, which they can manufacture it anytime they want. All they have to do is get some acorn person driving a car, create a crime, get pulled over by the cops, and then charge racial profiling, and bammo, they've got their case. This is insidious, what this administration is doing, and Democrat governors are now very concerned about this.